WGLNA Season 2 Gold Leagues. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left is David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. If you guys aren't watching this on battleviewer.com, go over there right now and watch us from that. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you and respond to the question of the day.
Just what is your favorite Tier 10 tank?
That's right. Mine would have to be the Waffle, the E100. It's a fantastic autoloader tank destroyer. I love the Waffle in Season 1. I'm loving the Waffle in Season 2.
I7, just for nostalgia reasons, and because it's back to being great.
Hashtag the feels indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, what you guys just witnessed was Eclipse beating Simp 5-4, and right now we have Simple Tankers versus Ping999. The face-off is ready. For the side of Simple Tankers, we have J Smooth. For the side of Ping999, we've got Shimbo. Gentlemen, welcome to the face-off. And J Smooth, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. Merry Christmas, sir.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas from Santa Smooth.
Oh, Santa Smooth. It's so good to see you. I never see you. I look forward to seeing you this time of year. You look fantastic, sir. The beard is amazing as always. My question to you, Santa Smooth, is going to be, as you guys have played before, is there anything that you have seen after being playing in a week that you're going to be changing for the following, or is everything kind of still, as far as your meta has gone, going to be staying pretty much solid?
No, just like the naughty and nice list, things are ever evolving, and sometimes we'll be there and we'll play this tank, and then we switch to that tank.
Yeah.
Santa brought us some brand new tanks for this matchup, so you'll be seeing some new Christmas presents from Wargaming tonight.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Santa Smooth. It's always a pleasure to have you, sir.
Yes.
All right, J Smooth, what's your favorite Tier 10 tank?
Oh, favorite Tier 10 tank? I'm going to stay classic and go with the E5.
You call the E5 classic? You've been playing way too long. You've been
well,
playing way too long to say that, man.
Okay, how about this? The
T30. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's fine. The
Good.
T30 almost hated you for life there. Just let you know.
Wow. Yeah, there's no hashtag the feels here. Santa Smooth. Santa Smooth. Thank you so much for that.
So, Shimbo, what is your
Hello.
favorite tank?
Leopard 1.
Ah, the Leopard 1. That's a great tank as well.
All right. Have you seen the Leopard 1?
Yeah, I think we have seen it in WGLNA so far.
All right.
At least I've seen it in somebody's practice or replay.
Gotcha.
So it kind of gets hard for me to keep it straight.
All right. Well, let's see.
Sometimes there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, let's see if we see the Leopard 1 this time. Indeed. Gentlemen, before we get into the match, Santa Smooth, is there anything you'd like to say to Shimbo before we start?
No, well, hold on. I got some gifts for you all. Santa Smooth. So for you, Toma,
Yeah.
I give you the art of war.
Thanks, Santa Smooth.
So you can learn about the tactics we use here in World of Tanks.
Yes.
Don't worry, it comes with the For Dummies version in the back.
Oh, that's for me. That's mine.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, Santa Smooth.
Also, David, I don't forget about you too.
Of
Hey,
course not.
as a master of beards here, let's just say
Yeah.
Merry
man.
Christmas. And Shimbo, I don't forget my good friend. I have for you one one-way ticket to the danger zone.
Oh, that is right. The danger zone is back. Shimbo, your response, sir.
Okay. I have this for you.
Oh,
Yes.
shots fired. That is it.
Not sure if this is for me as well. I don't know.
Oh, well, I just
It's probably all for me.
everyone's getting gifts. It's a good day. I feel like we're on the Oprah show.
It's probably all for me.
Gentlemen, best of luck to the both of you, and we'll see you guys shortly.
All right, Merry Christmas
Merry-
to the fans. We
Hey.
bring tank action to you.
There you go. For the fans, indeed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Santa Smooth.
All I gotta say is if you don't like this, you'll certainly not like what's underneath. So it's Stan. Sorry, sorry. And J Smooth, I'll have a far more rude answer for you and Scott.
No,
so
no,
check
no,
that
I don't
out
know what you're
later.
talking about. That wasn't J Smooth. That was Santa Smooth.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
J Smooth wasn't there
Same
for you
thing.
guys. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Santa
the beauty
with a
of
crazy accent.
the beauty of
Like, I don't know what nationality that was supposed to be. Okay, sorry.
Santa Smooth. Yeah, that's what he does every year. I can't wait to get the Art of War. I just can't. The creepy thing is how does he know my address? It's Santa Smooth. It's no
I
way.
gave it to him.
Oh, great. We are getting ready to get into our second battle. It is going to be Simple Tankers versus Ping999. Now, David, what we've kind of seen so far, let's pull up the rosters for both of these tanks and take a look at kind of the highlighted names What do we got?
The team's not tanks, Christian, but I'll give you Simple Tankers. Coffee Thief has been somewhat of a standout player for them. Obviously, Pride, Pub Whisperer, Executus has been a very, very clutch player in particular, but it's pretty much Pride and Executus that are leading on the fantasy board for them.
Okay.
And then for Ping, so far it's Taco Soldier sticks out of my mind all the time. He's a pretty great player.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody from them on the fantasy at the moment right now. They are missing Sheep, I believe, who I think is their caller. So I'm not. I don't know. I don't know who else I would really point out. He would be one of them. But we'll get into the match. We'll see if anybody else steps up. And really fills his shoes.
That'd be an interesting.
Hard.
Let's talk about that. If you're missing a caller, I mean, does a team generally have a backup caller? I mean, or is it just your caller's gone?
Well, I mean, to be missing a caller is a catastrophe on its own, and it very rarely happens. And usually, if it happens, the team has a backup. So, my team, for example, we typically had, there was a period we had people who duo called, then there was one caller, and then the other guy called. So no matter what, there were always at least two people who could do it.
Right.
And a lot of teams operate on that, where there's kind of a second in command who kind of controls like the lights there. So maybe he'll step up. But for WGLNA match at this point in time, I don't know,
Missing a caller.
That's rough times.
Well, let's see if Ping can survive against Simple Takers with the caller down, or if Simple Takers will run all over them. Ladies and gentlemen, we're into steps. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
So for Simple Tankers, we have two E5s, an Object 140, two T22s, hype for the mission tank, and two AMX 30s. For Ping, we have two E5s, a Bat Chat, an Object 140, two 62As, and an AMX 1390. I'm going to have to apologize again that our nameplates are backwards.
That's right, on the blue side, as far as the blue above the tanks, that is Ping999. They are on offense. Simple Tankers is on defense. Red above their names, but red on your guys' screen. Starting off, we have Taunt over there for Ping999, pushing up to a pretty a nice little spotting area. Looks like there's some damage there going across as the oh no!
That's a lot of damage.
Oh, it
185
fails.
off of two different medium tanks there.
What in the world happened there?
I don't know. We gotta rehearse that boost, boys, if you want to keep pulling it. 'Cause,
no.
That's two different times I've seen that failure in that area. So Simple Tankers running down the eastern side. Ping pretty much gave them most of the time they needed. So they got Tantanakas here doing a middle scout, so he can spot anybody that's kind of on this ridge.
Yeah.
Then the rest of their players are down here in the GH lines, lined up to shoot those tanks that are spotted by Tantanakas, but they didn't get any intel, so they didn't get any shots.
All right, Unknown One is spotted for Simple Tankers there in that E5. He's now backing down the hill. And kind of looking at the positions right now where Unknown One is, he's spotted where he is. Is this one of those positions where you can say, oh, because of deduction, the enemy has to be here, here, here? Or is that just still just too far?
To find Tantanakas?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yes, kind of, barely. And it would be based off of these northern guys getting so much distance from a lot of other places. They would have to deduce he's somewhere here in the middle. They should be able to figure out that he's not closer to them in that cluster of bushes, essentially at E7, just because they can kind of spot it from the side. But as we're talking, he does kind of escape here. So he's not, obviously not at risk anymore. But that is a very difficult one to do, to counter, to deduce where they are. But it is not an uncommon place for people to blind fire when they do get spotted. So rather than going by deduction, they're just like, oh, he's probably here, 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 so we're just going to fire in him. And then you'll see him scatter away a lot of the time.
Gotcha.
It takes a lot of discipline not to. Now you can check out Ping999's camo here. I don't think this would be effective on a battlefield, but it sure looks cool.
Amazing. It blends perfectly. What are you talking about, David? It blends perfectly into the environment around them right now. Ping!
Yeah,
Switching up. They've decided to they were stalled out around the H67 area. They still have a couple guys sitting back there, but sending 4 of their members over on this western side, pushing up, possibly going for above the railroad tracks. Simple Tankers sitting back. They are on defense. They just have to wait for Ping to make the move. 5 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock here. J Smooth did take a little bit of damage, takes a shot.
It honestly looks like it's cell shaded. It's so bright. I kind of like it, man. Like, do a whole overhaul for tanks and see what it would look like in this kind of Tron, cartoony environment. Not a whole lot happening, which is why we're kind of making these jokes. Basically, Ping is trying to find a way into this. Simple Tankers knows that it's going to take a long time for Ping to do that. Ping is biasing themselves both sides and just making sure that they can kind of high-low and flank where Simple Tankers is setting up, so very, very likely going to be a lot of pressure coming from the E5s in the south, unless they go up the 4 line and then across to the east. But either way, it's a period of time where Ping is going to feel people out and find where they want to go. If that's confusing to you, again, I have to apologize. Keep in mind, the nameplates are backwards, so it can be a little bit tricky to keep track of. Right now, let's take a minute, because we certainly have a minute, to look at the Bat Chat. Now, if you're not familiar with this tank, it's essentially an amazing 1390.
I'll say it looks very similar playstyle.
It's a little bit slower overall, but it is essentially it's big brother. Once you get up to tier 10, it turns into this with kind of an awkward duck, the Lorraine in between. Lorraine used to be overpowered, so if anybody plays and they wonder why it's still there, it's just kind of in an awkward place from where it used to be. But either way, this is a 5-shot clip instead of 6, which actually, when they made that change, I thought it was better than the 6, but whatever. And you can see kind of a standard set of equipment here that they would be running. And he's got coffee, interesting locations for his medical and repair. My gigantic hands could never put a medical that close unless I were to rebind things, but whatever. And then optics, vents, and a vertical stabilizer. So pretty standard set for them. And the Bat Chat just operates the same way as a 1390, but hits a lot harder. And reloads close to the same amount of time, but not exactly.
Just overall better. Now 75.
Unless you're scouting.
75 seconds on the clock. Taunt, the side of Ping, is the one putting that pressure on there, and is going to be up to Simple Tankers to pop out and get those resets. J-Smooth was spotted as he popped over the top there. As you see right now, Flak is yellow, which means he is spotted as well for Simple Tankers. And meanwhile, we have the rest of Ping kind of grouping up down here over toward, look what we got going. They're going over toward the eastern cap. Now one of them is spotted, but just as Simple Tankers is going to put a lot of pressure here over to this northern, they might be able to push a nice little pressure onto the east or western side.
They are. This is a little bit sketchy as they're opening up the 2 cap, but they do have one tank there to suppress the 2 cap, and it is not entirely safe. I mean, if he gets shot, and it's not hard for Executus to go down here, that 2 cap is wide open, but he is ripping up Mufasa, so either way he will get one tank in exchange, and that is well worth in this situation a delay and a tank down, especially one as important as the E5 is. To Ping's strategy here could be huge. Ping's going to take the low road, try and isolate Executus and make him fight Mufasa head-to-head. Executus will simply drive around this rock and create that situation where it's him and Mufasa, most importantly, as the mediums have all kind of committed a little bit too far forward, or Executus instead we're going to pick out Shimbo under a lot of fire. Mufasa is still going down. Coffee Thief falls to Reaper.
Damage going off here, and no one finds Mufasa now. That is 6 tanks for Ping against the just 5 for Simple Tankers. It looks like Executus is the one that Ping, does want to be taken down. Again, sorry for the confusion there. Zakumi picks up Shimbo, the T-62A, gonna be fallen, and now Technos and Taco Soldier for Ping are just kind of sitting by themselves, about to get surrounded by the members of Simple Tanker. Pride and Flat coming hot. Pride looking for the ram damage, 168 there. He does take 104 himself. A shot from Taco Soldier onto Pride is not going to be enough to have him taken down his teammate. Taco Soldier takes a lot of damage there. Flag picking that one up, and that is going to be another tank falling for Ping. Just Reaper and Taunt for the attacking side, which is Ping, and still 5 members for Simple Tanker alive and well. Zakumi and Executus, the only ones really kind of below half health. Everyone else, if not above, at full. 45 seconds on the clock. Simple Tankers is on the defense. This is going to be going over to Simple Tankers for this first match. First battle. Sorry, this is not the match yet. This is just the first battle of the first match.
Yeah, an interesting map to try and square off against a veteran team. I mean, we keep doing this, right? It's like, I don't know why you'd want to play a veteran team on Steps or Cliff or Pro, and eventually there's got to be a map you choose to play him on.
That's true.
I personally would probably try and take him to like a Ruinberg, as I feel like it's
Ghost
one
Town.
of the more easier ones. Or Ghost Town, take people out of their comfort zone, unless they ban it away, right? They do get at least half bans, so it can go either way, and I really want to see if we can get into one of those picking processes at some point in the season, kind of see how this works side to side.
Down to 0 seconds. That is going to be Simple Tankers picking up that victory early on against Ping999. Now, I liked what Ping was trying to do there, as far as from my perspective. I don't know, maybe you can speak to this, but essentially drawing Simple Tankers up over, going for that northern cap, which most people generally do, and while they were committing over the railroad, sending a couple of their members who they sat back the entire match down in the south over to the western side to try to either cause confusion, try to get behind them, make them be the defenders, turn the attack against them. And it looked like I was like, oh, this might go well for them. This might be amazing. What would you say was the reason why that failed? Because obviously Simple Tankers just slammed on the brakes when they went over the railroad, turned around, took the shots back on the cap, and it worked out fine for them.
I mean, the big reason why it failed for Ping is
Yes.
Executus.
Okay.
Just, they didn't handle Executus well, and they let him have a field day. I mean, we can take a moment here to check out the stats.
Let's do it. Let's go to stats.
And it's bad news for Ping with 35-23 out of the Object 140 in Executus's hands, 22-34 from Unknown One in the E5. Both T22s. That's a vicious tank. I don't know a whole lot about it because I haven't actually gotten my hands on one to play it. So all I know is it's apparently very, very good and can do kind of the peeking, firing situation quite well.
As it did.
Tantanaka's in the 1390. In my opinion, the MVP of his team right now is in Tier 8. Taking 3rd damage overall is nothing to scoff at.
Sure, absolutely. Now will be switching sides again, as this new format does mean it's not just 2-on-2. It is back and forth, which we talked about being a little more even. That way you don't, again, psychologically when you're down 2 and you're on defense, like, oh, now we have to win this, makes it a little more even overall. But we'll see if Ping, when they're on defense, if they can hold as well as they Simp just held against them, or if they're going to try to find something else to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready into the next battle. Ping999 versus Simple Tankers. Let's get right down into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For Simple Tankers, we have an IS-7, an E5, an AMX-30B, Object 142, T-22s, and a T-54 lightweight. For Ping999, we have 2 E5s, a Batchat, 2 62As, and 2 T-54s. Right now, I'd have to give the lineup advantage to Simple Tankers. If the things that I've heard about the T-22s are true, I've heard that they are phenomenal tanks. I'll have to get a little bit of a detailed review for them in the future. In the meantime, should get that sweet camo for Simple Tankers. This is my favorite one. Out of everybody's camo, I feel like this is the one that just kind of meshes the best.
It looks sweet. Red, black, gray, always great color combinations going together.
Yeah, check out the T-22 here. Man, that armor configuration looks pretty good. A nice shuka on the front. In case you don't know, that means, I believe it means pike in Russian, or pike nose. Just kind of a fish shape that they
Look at that.
They think, or that they talk about this shape being known as. I always just know it as the pike. But either way, I believe that's correct. If not, somebody help me out in the chat that knows what they're talking about.
Link the Wikipedia
in
page.
Historical tank
don't link it.
Namology, nomenclature. But either way, pretty amazing tank, pretty high DPM, pretty good aim from what I've heard. A lot of blind fire out onto a few different places where spotting would be taking place. Simple Tankers prepping to sweep across the north side. Apparently they don't care about broadcasting that they're there.
Nope.
So strategy probably dictates that they just doesn't matter, that they want to go head-to-head. They want to have a fight here, and they're going to try and drag Ping into that.
Just running over Indeed again, making sure that they're just doing the very classic kind of moves if they're going for the northern cap. Simple Tankers now pushing over the railroad tracks, getting 4 of their members there, as you guys see on your screen, pushing up against, probably sending some people in that A2, A3 area, getting up on elevated to make sure that if Ping wants to poke over to punish them for taking that northern cap, they will get punished as well. No, it looks like we got a little bit of boost coming out here. This is a boost that we have not seen. We saw it in the, I believe, the Pacific Rumble. I think we saw this first boost, but it's
we saw this while you were gone.
Oh.
We saw this last weekend. Last
Thursday
Thursday by
out.
Simple Tankers.
There we go. Let's see if it works out
That's
for
a
them
sweet angle.
again. Look at those tanks.
Dang, look at that discipline. They've all got all their guns pointed.
Going
So
the
if
same
anybody
direction.
tries to
Yep.
poke over and fire, it's twofold. One, no, they do not expect to be able to all fire on that target at the same time. The big thing is all their turrets. So the best part of their armor on the turret is facing where the enemy could be shooting them from.
Oh, okay.
And that is a kind of a pro tip. Say, for example, for those of you who play public matches quite a bit, Mountain Pass, if you ever cross that big gap on the eastern side of the map going southwest, there's an area that is very easy to take shots from. Always make sure to turn your turret to the right and right-click to lock it there so you can still look around. And that way anybody who
hold
fires at
right-click.
you will, part of their target will be a turret. So for a lot of tanks, that makes a big difference. That's the difference between bouncing and taking a boatload of damage.
All right, well, there you go. Some pro tips coming out from Nagatron. Still looking out for you guys.
That one is super
in
old.
the community.
Super old. But, you know,
bringing it
there's a lot
back.
of new players these days, so
Absolutely.
they may not know some of these things.
Absolutely. I'm learning something every single day. 5 minutes on the clock here. Out for the side of Ping999 being spotted out again. Ladies and gentlemen, the blue members are the defense.
The cap is wide open.
Simple Tinkers on there, and no, everyone's just kind of running down. We have 3 members of Ping, Shimbo, Tech, and Reaper on your guys' screen, trying to flank around to get Simple Tankers, trying to catch them off. The cap pressure being applied now for Simple Tankers. It looks like the T-54 is going to be the one. Zakumi is spot out, as well as Flak. Mufasa for the side of Ping, also lit up. 90 seconds now on the clock. This will be interesting to see kind of how this develops. And something to note about Ping is they are very spread out when they fight. This is both on offense and on defense. They don't kind of come at it from one angle. They are definitely kind of splitting their forces, but Simple Tankers seem to kind of know how to deal with that. Indeed, as Mufasa is taking a lot of damage as he crosses this field, Zakumi is going to pick him up, and that is going to be a tank falling for Ping999. Simple Tankers did pull off of the cap, but they're pushing more pressure back on. 93 seconds on that clock, 3 minutes and 58 overall in the battle. Simple Tankers have plenty of time to pick this one up, but Ping also has plenty of time to reset it. If they can just keep Simple Tankers off of it, they're going to do a fantastic job, and they will pick up this victory. Now, David, if you are Simple Tankers, you are putting cap on, and you now are spotting that there are members coming around you from all sides. Does this suggest that you push all your members on one side to find the overmatch, or do you try to say, all right, guys, you on your side, take care of your side, we'll take care of our side?
Really, they're trying to find an overmatch is what they're trying to do, or create kind of a split situation. But as it stands right now, Ping is actually the one that's offering up the overmatch, as Simple Tankers can simply double back and attack them if this push comes to shove. But 15 seconds left on the cap, and it's an awkward situation for Simple Tankers. Ping is in the open.
Putting a lot of damage there, but now Simple Tankers have decided to pull off the cap. They know they have the overmatch, David, that you were talking about, and they're going to try to find it. Techno's taking a lot of damage there, dropping to below half health in that 62A as he is on the retreat. Not really a member for Ping, for Simple, is scratched. Ping999 on the run. Shimbo taking a lot of damage as well, and here comes Simple Tankers around the hill. They're looking for Technos, and they're going to find him. Zakumi picking that one up. They put J-Smooth on the cap just to make Ping have to put pressure on them, or they will lose it indeed. Coffee Thief up on top in that 30B, raining fire down. Looks like his shot is all the way in the back onto Reaper. Taco Soldier takes some damage. Stein Pride takes Reaper down. Zakumi finding Shimbo, and Ping is falling left and right. Taco Soldier is the next one who looks like he's going to be going down. All in that E5, just not able to make it into the fight in time. Pride finds another pickup. Tot now falling, and that is just going to be all in alive with 2 minutes on the clock. There is nothing that Ping can do, and Simple Tankers looks like they're going to pick up another victory here onto steps, one on defense and one on offense. Man, oh, look at you. He's just driving right into it. This is the thing also is interesting to note. Last season, looking at when their team was down, right? So let's say Ald is in this position as well as Ping is in. Copy Thief taking down Ald. And as, again, ladies and gentlemen, going to be another victory for Simple Tankers. But what I was just kind of getting into there is, we see a lot of the teams would go into a fight like that, all being by himself with Ping. It's him versus 7 or 6. There's no way he's going to win this. And they actually generally decide to run away. They try to buy as much time as possible. I don't know if that's either to build a strat or just try to exhaust your enemy or your opponent as much, or is that just kind of like is there a tank etiquette of like, all right, guys, you got me. I'm just going to end this now so we get into the next one? Or is it kind of a BM thing to drive around and buy as much time as possible?
It's not BM at all. I mean, however long a team wants to continue trying to win is up to them.
Sure.
And, there are some teams who want that time to talk. Some teams who just kind of want to tire the other team out or cool them down a little bit. Or there's always a chance for frustration, right? You send one guy to dust him up or two, and if he kills him 1v2, but it's still going to lose, it's kind of a morale win, right? So it depends on the team, depends on the situation. And for some teams, they may consider it BM and they may get upset about it, but it's not officially anything.
Right. Yeah, I just want to know, in your experience, if that happens. Is
more of an issue in practice. In practice, where there's times where it's like, guys, we've only got so much time. Can you just quit trying to run away with your one tank? I get that you want to practice these situations. We don't. Like, you've already gotten ruined. Like, or the other way around. Like if that happened to us sometimes in practice, and it depended. Sometimes we just be like, nah, end it. Let's move on.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, personal preference comes down to, and I also like the idea of it's almost like giving your time a free timeout, really. Your team a free timeout, excuse me. When you're down, it's all right, we got 2 minutes on the clock and I can run away. Let's just run away so we don't have to burn a timeout right now, talk about strats, get ourselves situated and sorted, and kind of get into there. So, but again, a fantastic job by Simple Tankers, getting 2 victories now, both on offense and on defense. We're getting ready to get into the next battle. But another thing I want to point out, like I said in the battle, Ping running a very spread sort of either offense or defense. No matter what they did in those past two battles and steps, they were separated. They wouldn't go all in one area or send maybe one guy and then the other 6. They were just very split up. And it'll be interesting to see if that works out for them continually or if they're going to have to switch it up because Simple Tankers is just not falling for it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our 3rd battle of match number 2. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
So for Simple Tankers, we have 2 E5s, an Object 142 T22s, an AMX-30, an M46 Patent. For Ping999, an E5, a Batchat T22, 262As, and 2 T54s. To address a little bit what you're talking about, I feel like this is very similar to a format that most people won't know, and it was actually 752.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good old 752.
No, not 754.
No, I know. I don't.
Okay,
I don't, I'm
752. Long time ago, very small subset of tournaments that some of these guys were around for at the time. I won't spend too much time on it, but it basically comes down to this. You can't split as much anymore as you used to be able to because that overmatch is a super easy grab, and it's pretty much game over as soon as you get it.
Gotcha. But it used to be in 752 easier, or a better chance, I guess, of a viable option.
That particular format was all about coaxing a team to split and then just dumpstering them with everything you got. So I won't spend too much time on it. The odds that even like 10 of our viewers have been around long enough to see that.
Hi, you 10.
Are pretty much nil.
Let us know who you are in chat right now.
It's like maybe you.
It's like it's me. Oh, thanks.
Alrighty, so Simple Tankers
doing the boost.
Same as usual. They actually did succeed with the boost this
no
time.
damage. Look at that.
Coffee
Everyone's
Thief
still
up the
at full health.
AMX 30. Same tank that got up there last time. In fact, out of all the teams we've seen attempt to boost so far, I think Simple Tankers is the only team that's actually successfully boosted. And both times it's been on, or actually no, they've successfully boosted on both sides now.
Yes, because they just did it last time too. Yeah. Same tank, Coffee Thief.
High voltage failed to pull it off last time. Must be more difficult with these tanks than it was in the past. T22s, man, I really want to get my hands on one of these and find out what it's like because it just looks so good.
At break, we'll just play a few
so
matches.
Good.
Look at that.
It's like an IS-7
It looks just like
combined with an Object 140 or something. It's just like a dream.
Those are the tanks I dream about. I was about to say those are the tanks I dream about. I've seen it now. Dreams reality confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. 6 minutes and 6 seconds on the clock. Only about 2 minutes have elapsed. Not a lot of movement there coming out for Simple Tankers. They're just sitting at all in the valley, which is just very general for this map. A very good strategy indeed. It is up to Ping to push, and push they are the Batchat, kind of heading around toward the western side. Meanwhile, the 2 T54s coming up to join the rest of their teammates. Mufasa is being spotted, and he is spotting out at least 3 members of Simple Tankers. So a nice job there, dodging a shot in that E5. Shimbo in that 62A. Just setting up, getting ready to damage and punish anyone who comes over the top. And now will Ping be able to successfully take this northern cap? And it just seems with tier 10s, it's just so much harder to do. The view range is amazing on these guys. Taunt pushing forward in that T54. Again, 5 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock on no one, taking a little bit of damage. Not too much, nothing too much to scoff at. Here comes the pressure for Ping. They are applying 1 T54 on the cap. And now a strategy, as Taunt takes some damage there, that it'll be interesting to see is how many people will go for that, just that dump of just tons of tanks onto a cap once one has put up a little bit, which we saw, I think, I mean, High Voltage did it a few times, but I can't remember last season who was the kind of staple of doing that. It'll be interesting to see if that works again, because it is such a, we got to go now. And it looks like Taco Soldier might be starting that. We'll see as this develops. Meanwhile, shots going across the map. Taco Shoulder taking a little bit of damage there. A nice reset from Pride in that T22 medium from all the way down by the valley there. And here comes the clock again, 92 seconds. Now, you talked about kind of how much discipline it takes if you take damage not to move. Now, Taco Soldier in that situation got reset, and he moved immediately. Now, does that kind of apply the same on tanks as it does in bushes when you're trying to hide? Or is it still all kind of at the mind games? Like if you're on cap and you take some damage, like, well, they think I might move, so I'm not gonna move.
The problem with this on cap, if you're not in a bush, is they can see the tracer disappear, so more shots will be coming.
Okay.
So you do need to move.
Gotcha. Cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, only use that strat of boldness in a bush, not while you are on cap. 63 seconds on the clock. Taco doing a good job kind of dodging some of the shots. Mufasa pushing very aggressively. I don't know why, what his motive was for doing that, but he looks like he's just going to be kind of collapsed on here by J Smooth and Zakumi. He is now backing off on the run, maybe kind of noting his mistake here. But as J Smooth pushes over the side, a nice shot from Shimbo, that T62A over in that A3 area, gets a good bit of damage and actually forces him back. 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, though. Simple Taker's doing a great job making sure Ping does not put too much pressure on Mufasa. Another shot, a little bit of damage going to Coffee Thief. Thief up on top of the hill there. Wow, just one more, down to 3 health onto Mufasa. One more, he'll be going down here, and that is going to be the first tank falling for Ping if Simple Tankers is going to commit to taking it down. Taco Soldier now going back on the cap, joined this time by Taunt. Coffee Thief is one to end Mufasa for this battle. He is out, but he can still help his team as far as strats go. 43 seconds on the clock. A nice reset coming out there from Executus in that 140. Immediately getting some damage onto, I believe that was the T54 there for Ping. 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. And it looks like Simple Takers is just going to keep rinsing and repeating this. And Ping needs to do something different because this is not working out for him.
Yeah, it's kind of an older way of doing it. Simple Tankers probably brought them to this map on purpose, knowing that their veterancy on it would help them really bring this home. Both these E5s for Simple Tankers pretty much can just poke over. They're essentially the corollary to the T32 that we used to see in Tier 8. And they're actually a little bit easier to pen in the turret because the turret itself is longer, a little bit flatter on the sides. The hatch can actually be penned. It's tricky to pen it. It's a lot harder, to pen it now than it used to be. But yeah, Tanjanaka's going down that T54. Woo! Taco Soldier's going to be next. Honestly, I'm not that surprised by it.
No, but I mean, it was just so right there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the focus fire coming up for Simple Tankers is just so amazing to watch. You see just every angle, red lasers shooting at them. And they go down immediately. That's 2 more tanks falling for Ping999, and Simple Tankers looks like they have this one in the bag. They are up 1,000 points in HP, 1 minute 45 seconds on the clock. It is going to be up to Ping to pull out a miracle here if they're going to find this victory. And the fight, it looks like it's going over on the other side of the railroad tracks here, as Shimbo is now in a 3v1 situation all by himself. A lot of damage there going on to that 62A. He doesn't have a lot of damage in return. And Flack in that T22 takes some damage actually from the side. It's like their T22 driven by Out. He's going to do a little bit of damage to try to help out his teammate, but his teammate is not going to survive for long. 1 or 2 more shots, and he's going to be going down. The question is who will pick that one up. Meanwhile, Ald in that T22 for his own, driving straight into the side of Simple Takers. He wants to go head-to-head. He's not going to get too far. Pride and Unknown One pick up 2 kills back-to-back, leaving just Technos and Reaper with a minute to go. Zakumi finds Reaper. Techno's going straight in. He wants to get Coffee Thief. He gets the ram, but he does not have enough damage. J Smooth's going to finish him off, and that is going to be Simple Tankers picking up another victory, making it now 3-0 here on Steps. David, one of the things that I've always wanted to see, I saw it in EU, I believe last season, we were on Ruinberg. They took a very small tank, I think it was a 1390 or one of those very kind of shorter in stature ones, surrounded it with just 3 blocks of tanks, and built those cap pressure points on it, basically using the others as a wall. And I mean, that's fun to use there. Obviously, it's a wall. You don't have to bring all the tanks around, but we saw Ping try to do that kind of in the end. They put Taunt right in front of Taco.
Sure.
But that just doesn't really work out as well.
No,
in
I mean,
situation.
this is for seasons now. This has been a hallmark of a bad strategy a lot of the time. There have been a few teams that we've seen do it over the past season and a half, season and a week, that really did it well. And it was kind of a delayed cap thing where they would stagger in and put a lot of caps there, a lot of tanks on cap there at the end and snag it. But that's a more advanced way of doing it. But doing it this way, not really going to work out. Well, we've got the time. Let's go ahead and take a look at stats.
Hey, let's go right into the stat screen.
So, Coffee Thief, his team 3684. That's making me sad for my fantasy team a little bit. Unknown One with nearly 2,000. J Smooth right behind him in the M46 Patton. I love that tank. I love the M46 Patton. It's a great medium tank. Maybe we can get a highlight on that a little bit. Both T22s not getting as much damage as their legacy or their everything that somebody says about them would lead you to believe. But all 7 tanks alive for Simple Tankers.
Alive and well.
And then for Ping999, we've got Shimbo at 2884. Really not a whole lot else. Reaper 2000, and it just sort of starts dropping out from there.
Dropping out from there. Now, again, ladies
7-0.
and gentlemen, pay attention to the members who are putting up a lot of the points and go, again, to fantasywgl.com and build those teams, get those points. They are free. There's also stats on there to see how many points they've done on average. Their pick percentage is a fantastic thing, but be paying attention. Who is making the plays so you can have them for next battles, for next matches, battles. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready for our final one on the steps between Ping999 and Simple Tankers. We have switched sides. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Go ahead and probably follow those players on Twitter as well. You never know when they're going to release some sort of information or guide that they put out.
Yeah.
Not always easy to find, but if you have them on Twitter,
Eclipse just did it.
guaranteed. All right, Simple Tankers with an i7 and E5, AMX 30B, Object 142, T22 mediums, and a T54 lightweight. Ping999 with a bad shot, Object 140, T22, two 62As, and two T54s.
All right, here now Simple Tankers just needs one more victory to make it a 4-0 on this first map, putting a lot of pressure onto Ping to try to come back from that one. If Ping can pick up a victory here, it's just going to ease their burden a little bit, but they still got a tough road ahead of them if they want to take down Simple Tankers. You know, just kind of seeing again the theme of these first couple weeks, which I definitely did pick up in last season, is kind of these veteran teams facing off against the newer teams. Just really, you see that difference. You see the pace, you see the reaction times, you see just in the battles coming down to who focuses well, the communication, and I think it'd be such an amazing opportunity for these newer teams to see, wow, all right, this is what a veteran team looks like. This is what we can aspire to be, and kind of taking in those taking good notes. Obviously, if you can't let this kind of beat you up if you are a newer team, you got to just roll with the punches and try to find out what's going on. And what is going on right now is Simple Tankers pushing up very aggressively onto Ping999.
In the open.
They just want to end this one now. They're going to find Shimbo in that 62A. He is spotted out. A lot of damage there going on to him. Now the rest of the tanks getting into position. They are focusing him down. 636, 923. One or two more shots. Copy Thief going to pick him up in the 30B, and they're going to continue this damage here. Taco Soldier taking some as well. Mufasa now kind of being hopefully a barrier for the rest of his team. Will it be effective? That is the question, and only time is going to tell. 90 seconds on the clock. Simple Tankers dumping points onto that cap, which is now going to have all run to try to get any sort of reset that he can. Basically sacrificing his life. No, Taco finds Executives in that 140 going down for Simple Tankers. That is a tank down for both of them. The HP, though, is in favor of Simple by just 500 now as Coffee finds all. Mufasa, though, taking down Flak. A fantastic pickup now. J-Smooth in that T54 has to get here quick, or the rest of his team might be in trouble here. Simple Tankers, though, actually, they are very, very well ahead in HP, and Coffee Thief finding Todd is going to make it harder and harder for Ping to come back from anything at all. Mufasa is going to be the next one. Looks like taking the damage there, but right from the back of no one, sneaks a shot past him, taking down Taco in that T54. Technos finds Coffee Thief, finally ending his reign of terror. Mufasa being surrounded now like sharks in the water. Simple Tanker are just finding all of the kills they can. J-Smooth, what a grand entrance there. Flying in on those reindeer, smashing right into Technos, getting some ran damage, and looks like he's about to finish him off there. One shot, 970 points of damage. Reaper does find Pride, but once Technos goes down, it is a 3v1 with 5 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock. Simple Tankers should be able to pick this victory up. Reaper's on the run, that bad shot, and he's on the reload. Not only is he on the run, he has no more shots for a good chunk of time.
Nope. And he has pretty much no hope of winning this either. So, not a good time for Reaper. Doesn't even escape that corner. J-Smooth coming in for the kill.
Fantastic job. Congratulations. Simple Tankers now increasing that lead 4-0 on steps against Ping999. Now, that's something that, again, I feel like that's something that's a staple of some of these teams is you get 3 victories up, and then instead of, playing it slow, playing it safe, it's like, let's just dump these on them. Let's just push all of our tanks, try to find the kills where we can, because it catches them off guard. I mean, obviously, if you're playing 3 matches in a row where everything's slow and kind of methodical, and oh no, these tanks are here. It's a fantastic strategy indeed, and Simple Tankers pulling that one out and really utilizing it well. We're going now into Prorovka again. This is going to be the second time we've seen this map for the week. I'm excited to see how these kind of teams do on this. It'll be interesting to see if Simple Tankers does what we saw our first teams do, which is push aggressively down that center, using that railroad very well, or if they're going to play that slower game, maybe another artillery.
Yeah, Simple Tankers so far getting 2 different maps where there's kind of a strong ridge that they can choose to fight around, where you have to have a lot of prior knowledge in order to really operate them well. And good map picking on their part, getting these two maps out. Kind of amusing to me that we didn't see Pro at all last week, and now we see it in 2 sets back to back.
Yep. That is it. Obviously, either all the teams were watching the last weeks and going like, hey, maybe if we want to kind of upset these veteran teams. Actually, that's a good question. Do you think this is a pick from Ping, or would you guess this is a pick from Simple Tankers?
It's a hard call. Honestly, I would look like both of these maps are picks from Simple Tankers to me, but I don't think we have a whole lot of information on Ping.
Sure.
So perhaps this is theirs. I can't even.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to speculate. I don't have enough information on Ping yet, honestly.
Just the idea of we're talking about how would you disrupt Noble if you are Yo or another team. You gotta like take them off of these experienced maps.
Noble.
I get you sure. Maybe there's not an
collectively set all their houses on fire. I don't see how else this is supposed to
unplug all of their Ethernet cords.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Sabotage is the only way to disrupt Noble right now. But I mean, if you're a newer team and there's a map that maybe a more veteran team hasn't played a lot, you might technically have a better chance. Facing off against them on that map than a more experienced map.
I mean, honestly, there's no real map you can take it to where the amount of experience these guys have, because they played a lot of veterans that are still in it
have
with
played
pretty much the exception of 07
seasons.
Have played for a real long time.
Sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if Simple Tankers can finish this one out 5-0 against Ping, or if Ping can claw the way back from a miracle. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got from our tanks.
So, for Simple Tankers, we have 2 Object 260s, a Leopard, 2 Object 140s, a T22, and an AMX 1390. For Ping, we have 2 E5s, a Bad Chat, an STB, T22, T62A, and an AMX 1390. Hold on. What is that? Are the teams backwards?
Do you hear something?
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are.
Right.
In fact, that is true. Switcher guy. Good job. All right, so
Taunt going to the water there, getting a nice little refreshing pool, taking himself out of this hot breeze, and now he's right out for a little bit of dip on the run again. Ladies and gentlemen, again, sorry for the confusion. It is Ping who is on the defense. Simple Tankers is on offense. Now we talked about kind of seeing this so far. Ping, the map was very heavily on defense as far as the winnings from the last match, but that might have been either the experience from Eclipse. I did kind of go even back and forth, so we'll see if Simple Tankers can show their aggressive victory here on Prorofka, or if Ping will be able to find a defensive victory here against this team, this veteran team. Coffee Thief being spotted out there. I know one is Zakumi for the side of Simple Tankers now, all spotted out. They are very much biasing this this number 2 cap you guys see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Taunt and that 1390 doing a good job spotting out a lot of them and staying hidden himself in this bush. 45 seconds on the clock. Damage now going across here. Coffee Thief taking the lower road, trying to find a way to flank around Ping999. Will Simple Tankers be able to bully their way to this victory, or will Ping have something to say against it as they are sending Mufasa and Technos over on this other side of the railroad tracks? And Simple Tankers backing off. They found a little bit, maybe too much damage than they were comfortable with. J-Smooth taking a shot on the run. 388 points of damage there in that 1390. He has not let out a single shot yet. And here they come, pushing over on the other side, and no one getting set on fire. 1,100 points of damage, 1,300. Reaper going to finish him off there. A beautiful pickup. The Object 260 going down here. Simple Tankers now trying to find Mufasa for the side of Ping, and the battle has begun for Prorofka. Ladies and gentlemen, Mufasa looks like he's next on the chopping block for Ping999. One more shot. He's going to go down. Can they take out Executus? No, Executus is going to take out him. 5 takes now 4 as a double kill. Alden Taco taking down Coffee Thief and Pride. Ping having 6 members still alive against Simple Tankers with just now 3, as I believe that was a J-Smooth trying to defend his teammate there. Zakumi finding Technos, and Zakumi, Flak, and J-Smooth are the only ones that are alive. They are on the run here. Flak taking a lot of damage from that T22 medium for Ping999. Taco Soldier finding Flak. Zakumi there coming, trying to shut him down, and he gets tracked there, allowing Taco Soldier to kind of get a nice position there, take the shots. A double tap going onto there, and Shimbo to finish him off. Just J-Smooth remains in this 1390, and that is a victory there going over for Ping, and a nice pickup indeed, a well-earned defense. They still have 5 members up. And that's what we're talking about. J-Smooth here on the run. He is hanging on with 11 points of HP. No, now he's dead. Reaper taking that one out. J-Smooth falling, and that is going to be the first victory going over to Ping there.
Putting the point on the board.
Putting the point. Hey, we cannot be 5-0'd here. And now all they have to do is do that again. and again and again and again, and they will be the victors of this match. But again, Simple Tankers just needs to do one. Now, looking kind of what you saw in that matchup, Simple Tankers being very aggressive, pushing over to that 2 cap. They sent a lot of members, but once they got there, they were being punished almost immediately, and they were kind of spread. I don't know which tank they sent. They sent a member down kind of by the river. He was going around trying to find a flank. The 1390 for Ping999 was doing a great job spotting all of them on their way up. So in Simple Tankers kind of case, when they committed for that cap, they put the pressure on, they took damage, and they back off. Is it kind of like the game's over from that point? I mean, you've committed to a cap, and it didn't work out, and now you're retreating.
Yeah, I mean, unless the enemy team makes a mistake as well, and then kind of a game of throws, exchanges back and forth until somebody stops messing up as much as the other one, or makes a big play off of that mistake, and then you get what you're looking for.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see if Simple Tankers just has to do the same thing to them. Now they're going on defense. Now they will have a lot better chance to find a victory here against this team. Looking at another kind of setup with these caps, just kind of talking again about their closeness, their proximity to each other. Would you bring more mobile tanks? Is this where you might see the tier 8 instead of the 2 tier 9s?
Yeah, it's possible. Tier 9s are going to have better DPM, better HP for this fight.
Okay.
Is it worth the sacrifice of the tier 10? I think it really depends on where the engagement zone is. Personally, from what I've seen so far, unless I were to go all in, so do a little bit of a scout with the tier 8 and then dump with the rest of the tanks, the mobility is the only thing I'd be after there, and the only reason I'd keep a tier 8. So I would probably focus on 2 tier 9s at this point in time, but I haven't played it at this tier. It's very different at tier 10 from what I can see so far.
Sure.
As a tier 8, it was largely just find the other person and jump on top of them and shoot them before they shoot you.
Gotcha.
And then don't bounce.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds
pretty much
simple
it.
enough.
That's pretty much it.
That's
It's
how it breaks
just a
down.
massive firefight, and whoever shot best and first won.
All right. Well, that sounds like a pretty fun game
Han
indeed.
Solo of strategies.
We are getting
If
ready
you will.
to go into. Oh, I will. Getting ready to go into the next battle, ladies and gentlemen. Simple Takers versus Ping. Simple now is on defense. Ping on offense. If Simple can pick this one up, they will win. Let's see if Ping can take it away from them. Let's get right down into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For Simple Tankers, we have 2 Object 260s, an Object 140, 2 STVs, an M46 Patton, and a T54. For Ping, we have an IS-7 and E5, a Batchat, 2 T22 mediums, and 2 T54s.
All right. Now, David, one of the things I just kind of want to point out here, in the northeastern corner, we've got that kind of like that river, that body of that little river that kind of separates that land mass out. We saw Ping head over there, getting a 1390 in that B9 area. He got into a nice bush, and he saw most of the members of Simp as they were crossing to take that 2 cap. Is that going to be, do you think that's like a very key place to be in? And do you think the attacking team is going to look out and start firing into that bush to make sure that doesn't happen again? Because, I mean, obviously they knew they were spotted immediately, and that really gave Ping999 a great position to kind of get in those spots to deal with what Simp was doing. Simple Tankers, not Simp.
Ask that question one more time.
There's a position over on the northeastern corner here, that B9 area, that Ping put a 1390 that spotted most of Simple Tankers.
Yes. It's a very difficult position to deal with, but where a lot of the other tanks would have to go to support it, it's just not a very great set of positions for defense. At least it wasn't in the past. But that tank will always be kind of an issue until you're able to square everybody away on the rail line, keep them from poking over whatsoever, and then you can dig that out. So unless there's just a lot of tanks behind him already in that kind of same area, which kind of makes his entire position unnecessary,
Right.
then it's sort of just a troll spot that you can't really ignore. But
Wow.
you send 2 tanks down there, especially if one of them's a bad shot or something they can exchange. And at best, what you're getting out of it is a pretty solid damage exchange of a tier 8 for something bigger than that. But we've got 17 seconds left
Look
on
at
cap
that.
as Ping is putting on a boatload of pressure, and Simple Tankers are way late here, but Executives could get the reset followed by an unknown one. One of the two of them is going to have to hit it, and we've got 9 seconds left to find that out.
They need to find this right now. Executus is firing against Taco Soldier. 5 seconds on the clock. He needs to look for it right now. Down to 3, down to 2. No! Mufasa gets hit, and Taunt now followed it up. That is the reset that Simple Tankers need. The question is going to be, can Ping still take this one out? Now that Simple Tankers has gotten to position, Techno's in the D5 taking a lot of damage. Ping has actually pulled their members off of the cap, trying to help out Technos, but it is going to be too late as Coffee Thief picks that one up with all just the one to remain. Ping is just going to try to buy as much time as possible. Meanwhile, in the back, Taunt Reaper and Taco for the side of Ping against Executus, J Smooth, and Pride on the side of Simple Tankers, doing a nice 3v3 here by the railroad tracks. Split up down on the back, we have Unknown One, followed by Flack, Sukumi, and Coffee Thief for Simple. Mufasa is the only one keeping Ald by himself.
Oh my God, Pride.
A lot
Fantastic.
of damage. There it is. Unknown One picks up Mufasa and IS-7. They're just going to push on forward. They're going to find Ald. Ald takes a shot into Zakumi. A track. Unfortunately, that is not enough to stay alive. Flack and Ald do a little bit of a dance there together as Executus goes down to Reaper, but with Ald taking so much damage, and that's another tank falling for Ping, dropping them down to just 3 tanks as Taunt finds J Smooth and Coffee takes down Ald. Unknown One, Zakumi, and Pride, along with Flack and Coffee, still alive for Simple Tankers. That is 5 tanks for them against the 3 for Ping. They know where they are. They are all spotted. The only tank that potentially could run away... Actually, he can't run away because Ping is on offense. Never mind. Simple Tankers should have this one in the bag.
Yeah, it's pretty over unless Taco Soldier and Shimbo just put the entire world
Just
on their shoulders.
ham mode.
And this is...
Oh! Look at that shot.
That was the only angle I haven't seen a T-22 bounce 50% of its shots off of so far. That was something that was just flabbergasting in the last set. I was like, look at this. It's just driving across the open, bouncing shots off the side,
Hey
off
guys,
the front.
I know.
And
No.
I know it's kind of a thing for my co-workers, in a sense, or my friends over at Wargaming to troll me and be like, you know that tank you asked for? Yeah, you're never getting it. Can you please actually give me a T-22? I'm not talking on like a sheriff account. I'm talking on my real account. I want that, please.
All right. Hey, he's asking
Please.
nicely. He just said the P word. Wargaming, please. Coffee Thief running over. They know exactly where this bat chat is. Shimbo on the run. Well, they knew where he was. He's not spotted anymore. But with this STB-1 for Simple Tankers, driven by Flack here, they're going to get that spot. They're going to know exactly where he is. He cannot run for too long. He cannot cap. This is Simple Tankers' game. And it's going to be the final one of the match. This is going to be their 5th victory, closing out our second
Flack bounces
matchup
a bat shot
of
somehow.
the night. Flack and them exchanging shots. Shimbo now wants to take Flack down. He's got a taste, and he likes it. Shimbo picking up flat that back chat now, trying to make it over the side. Gets tracked on top of the track. How ironic. Now he's taking a shot from the back. Just barely gets out of there, but Pride looks like he's going to finish him off. He's just waiting for this final shot.
Fantasy.
Uh-oh.
Fantasy.
Da-na-na.
Get it.
Da-na-na.
Get it.
There
Oh,
it
yeah.
is. The back ram. Pride finishing off Shimbo there, which is going to be Simple Tankers' 5th and final victory against Ping999. Ping did pick up 1 victory there, but Simple just showing their dominance overall, first on steps and now on Pro Rovka. David, kind of what you saw there, it got close. It got really, really close there. Ping999 put the pressure onto Simple Tankers, but they just made it in time.
Yep. What you see is what you get. Some great attempts to block the shots by Technos. He shut down that angle completely.
Did he?
So I think it was Executus that snuck it in. Let's go to stats right before we go to break.
Dun, 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 dun. Stats.
Alrighty. So, Zakumi, the Object 260. Like I said, I always heard that this tank wasn't that great, but I mean, 3809.
Killing it.
Great job. Zakumi, hey man, tier 10 is apparently where you start to get racking up that damage. Good job. Stern Pride, 3546 in his as well, or in his STB. And we can go all the way down to who I believe got that reset, and that is 29 defense points from him. And, oh, actually, I think it was Zakumi got 78 and 38 from Pride. So any one of those 3 where that big
Well
reset
done,
come from.
gentlemen.
Great job.
Fantastic job indeed. Congratulations again to Simple Tankers for that victory of match number 2, which ends match number 2. And up next, match number 3, High Voltage versus Yo. I'm really hoping Yo wins some because I want to see that sweet Mona Lisa. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break.